Today we are celebrating this feast of Saint Lawrence. Though he is martyr, I put the gold because it is a very solemn feast. And in the Roman canon, first Eucharistic prayer, this Saint Lawrence is mentioned. So he is very famous. And today, for me also it is special. 10th August is my grandmother, paternal grandmother, my father's mother's death anniversary. So 22 years back, God called her, and it is also for us a time to remember and thank God for calling her to heaven. So I am grateful to God for giving me this opportunity. Though for you it's just one regular mass, but for me this is a special mass. So I am able to celebrate and share something, remembering God's blessings in our lives. And today in the Gospel, John says, he notes Jesus telling, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. So whenever I say about my grandmother, I say that one incident, what happened after my during my +1 studies. So I was trying to end my life, and then my grandmother takes me to hospital, and that's how I say it. This is like every time I narrate, that is, but there are many things my grandmother did, and actually her name I carry. My name is Vignan Das. It is a combination of two names. Das is my grandfather's name, Swami Das, and Vignan comes from Gnanamma. So my grandmother's name is Gnanamma. So my name is Vignan. So it comes, it's a derived of Gnanamma and Swami Das. Put in V. That's why like sometimes in my Facebook, GB Das, V is Vignan. Like only that name. So my half of my name comes from my grandmother, Gnanamma, Vignan. And Jesus is telling in this Gospel, we should die and we should give. Two things are there here. So my grandmother used to ask money from me. By the end of the month, she asked, like, do you have any money, pocket money? Well, my grandmother died when I am 18 years, less than 18 years. So what I am saying is, like, when I am in the school, right, my grandmother asked, okay, you have any savings? You give that money. So at the end of the month, whatever I have, maybe 100 rupees or 200 rupees or even less, she says, like, if you give, I will give you double. Like, if you give 100, I will give you 200 in the first week. She gets the pension and she used to give. So I used to save the money, and whatever she gives, I will not spend, I will give to her back. Then again she will give me back money. Then it continued, many years it went on. So whatever, she knows that I will not spend money, so she gives money, and other, maybe my brother, I don't know, sister, my brother surely used to finish whatever money she gives. So I used to keep that money and finally back. I think God is telling the same thing in this Gospel. He is saying, like, if you love, you will give it back. So whatever we have in our lives, it is the gift of God, and we should give back to God, and we should give it happily, because it is not God is just like a stealing from us. He will give us back in return. God, main thing is like that attachment. God doesn't want to have that attachment. That is the main thing in this Gospel. And it is not dying, it's like that attitude, even I am ready to die. That is what Jesus is, like a cross. You have to follow Him by carrying the cross every day, problems, suffering. So, okay Lord, when we accept, God will give us joy, super joy. And that is what Saint Lawrence also is showing through his life. So he is famous that he has given the treasures. He is entrusted with money. He is entrusted with money of the church. An emperor wants to steal, but he goes and gives to all the poor. And he was ready to die, and he died. And that is what the feast we are celebrating, St. Lawrence feast. So let us ask God to have that courage, to give it back, whatever comes. As Mother Teresa says, give until it hurts, love until it hurts. So we have called to do the same, like Lawrence. We should have that attitude to give whatever gifts we receive, because we don't have anything. Everything, our position, our talents, everything is a gift of God. So we should be ready to give to God. And let us ask the intercession of this great Saint Lawrence, that even in the suffering that and in the problems, confusions, questions which we don't have answers, even during that time, to have that strong faith to follow God.